Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Rimuru's Journey for His Beloved, Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest, by Sakura Arashi. Chapter 24, Encounter and Rimuru's Sadness. You are. Wait, why are you with humans? You. Tell us what tribes you're from? A muscular demi-human with tiger-like tail said. Earlier, several hours has already passed since they'd encountered those monkey-like creatures, and after dealing with them, they kept on moving forward. Monsters would, from time to time, attack them, but the three would always swiftly deal with them. Monsters that were considered as troublesome by the mass were nothing compared to the three. And so they kept moving forward, until they all suddenly stopped. They felt the presence of something, or rather someone. They could feel plenty of presence around them. Their killing intent and teamwork can't be compared to the beasts they encountered before. Cam and the others started to desperately locate where the presence is coming from, since they were still shrouded by the fog. The tribe begun to show a loose and worried expression on their faces, while Shay's face turned pale. Rimuru and Hajime, realizing who the other party is, thought how troublesome this is going to be, not because of a battle but because of the result if they kill them. Soon Rimuru and Hajime noticed they have been surrounded by the other party. Coming out of the fog, a muscular man with tiger-like tail appeared. You are. Wait, why are you with humans? You. Tell us what tribes you're from, the person said. Seeing humans walk alongside demi-humans, the tiger-like demi-humans looked at Cam and his tribe as if they were traitors. They readied their double-edged sword while taking a stance surrounding them. "We are," Cam, who was drenched in his cold sweat, was saying when he was interrupted by a tiger-like demi-human. Oi, isn't that the white-haired rabbit man? Bastard. So you are the Howlia tribe. A disgrace to demi-human race, he said. First you deceive us into raising that taboo child, and now you've brought humans here? I won't hear any excuses. Everyone shall get executed her. Bang. With a look from Rimuru, Hajime quickly grabbed his gun and fired. A loud sound along with a bright sudden flash could be seen. At the same time, the tiger-like demi-human noticed something grazed his cheek, leaving traces of gouged trees as it disappeared into depth of the forest. The tiger-like demi-human who was grazed froze in his place, unable to understand what happened. If his ears were located at the side just like humans, it surely would have been blown away. Everyone was stunned by the unknown explosive sound added with an attack so fast they are unable to react. Then Rimuru released some of his haki, putting intense pressure on those who it was directed at, causing them to fall down, laying down on their chest, unable to lift a finger. If I wanted it, all of you would have died in an instant, so I recommend you think before you act, I said, increasing the pressure a little more. Ho! For all of them to be on the ground in an instant, unable to lift a single finger. Actually, how did he even know where his comrades are? All of them were hidden in the fog while surrounding their enemies. What the hell is this? There's no way he's human. This has to be a joke, he thought. I am giving you a choice. If you choose to retreat, I'll spare your lives, but continue to resist and all of you will die, Rimuru said. The tiger-like demi-human knew he wasn't bluffing. He's the captain of the second guard of Fia Belgain, and his work required him to guard Fia Belgain and the surrounding village. It was his pride and resolution that made it hard for him to make the choice of backing away, but nevertheless it was better to retreat. Surrender, he muttered, hearing that. Rimuru absorbed back his haki, letting go of the pressure that was killing them. Good choice, Rimuru replied after they've collected themselves. The tiger-like demi-human looked at Rimuru before asking. Can I know your purpose here? It was a straightforward question, but depending on the answer, he would gladly die to at least try and stop him if he means harm. The depth of the sea of trees. We want to go underneath the great tree, Hajime replied. Underneath the great tree? Why? He asked. The tiger-like demi-human thought that their purpose would be to enslave demi-humans, but when he heard the great tree he couldn't help but give a perplexed look. Why? Because the great tree was just one of the many places inside the sea of trees. We suspect the entrance to the real great dungeon resides there. We're traveling to conquer all 7 of them. We've already conquered one, and that's why we employed the Howlia as our guide, Rimuru replied. The real dungeon? What are you talking about? Isn't the Sea of Trees already one of the 7 great dungeons? The dungeon where no one except the demi-humans can advance without getting lost, he replied. That's very unlikely. First, the monsters here are far too weak. It doesn't even compare to the monsters at the Orcus dungeon. Second, it can't just be the Sea of Trees itself because it wouldn't be a challenge or a trial for demi-humans to attain the power hidden inside them. Rimuru said, causing the demi-human to look at Rimuru dumbfounded along with Hajime. Did he really just tell them a secret about the dungeon? Hajime thought, dumbfounded. Too weak. Wait, what do you mean by a trial and power hidden inside? He questioned further. The great dungeons were left by the liberators as a trial for anyone to complete. It wouldn't make much sense if the trial is the Sea of Trees itself, since demi-humans can easily complete it, Rimuru answered. The tiger-like demi-humans was unable to hide his confusion after hearing Rimuru's words. I can see you're confused, but all you need to know is that we mean your people no harm. We only seek the great dungeon, so don't worry, Rimuru said, assuring him of their intentions. The tiger-like demi-human had a conflicted look on his face, as he ponders what he should do in this situation. He doesn't look like he's lying about their intentions, so I doubt they're here to harm us. Besides, if he wanted to, he could have killed everyone in an instant, but even so, I can't let someone this powerful loose, even if they don't have any ill intentions towards us, the demi-human thought. I believe you. I don't care if you go to the Great Tree, at least that's my personal decision. However, I'll need to report this to the captain of the First Guard and the elders of this country. The elders might know something about your story, so if you're okay with it, I'd like you to wait here with us. The tiger-like demi-human said while being drenched as cold sweat. He knew if he doesn't choose his words carefully it would mean the death of all of them, but he also knew he couldn't leave such powerful individuals alone. Hajime and Rimuru looked at each other thinking on what they should do. I think it's not a bad idea. It benefits us the most after all, Hajime said. Yeah, I agree with you. It's certainly better than reaching our destination only to find out it's the wrong place. Besides, if we get permissions we wouldn't have to annihilate them for trying to oppose us. Rimuru replied, saying the last part while looking at the tiger-like demi-humans, giving him another drop of sweat. All right, we'll agree to your proposal, but think carefully about what you plan on doing. Try to be hostile, and I'll guarantee you all death, Rimuru said. Thank you for your consideration and your mercy. You heard him. Report this to the elders, he told one of his subordinate. After his command, one of his subordinate immediately left to report what has happened. After that tense encounter, they all started to relax while waiting for his subordinate to come back. Yu started to flirt and cuddle with Hajime while Shay tried getting close to do the same but was blocked by Hajime. Rimuru just sat at a stone while looking at the mask Shizu gave him thousands of years ago. This memento along with the body he's using is what he holds on to the most, something that's very important to him. This is what keeps him going, and what constantly reminds him of his true goals. A pair of beautiful golden eyes looks at this mask with sadness and determination. Even at moments like this, Shizu will always be on his mind. He can never get her out of his thoughts, for how could he when he's dedicated thousands of years just to find her? How could he when all the suffering he's been through was because of his love for her? Is it an obsession? Or is it denial? Who knows? But the fact is that, he just can't let go of her. He just can't let go, even after thousands of years. He just can't let go of her, no matter how much it pains him. He just can't let go of her. What does he really need? Shizu or help? He can't get help anymore. The person who knows his suffering and the person who's most likely to succeed in helping him move on would be Chloe, whom he froze. Seal wouldn't succeed in helping him move on from Shizu, and no one else knows about his suffering. How could they when Rimuru has never opened up? Author's note. Guess what the future holds. Does Rimuru accept the fact that Shizu's gone, or does he successfully reunite and find her? What do you think? On the other corner, while the two girls fight over him, he notices his brother. He looks sad, while looking at a mask. Was this the first time he's ever seen his brother sad? No, this was the second time. The first was back in that library. Back then he was looking at a book, now he's looking at his mask. Where did that mask come from? What did it really mean to his brother? He could tell his brother was sad about something, but determined about something at the same time. What was it? He wanted to know his brother's problem and he wanted to help him, just like how his brother always helps him. He's gonna silently observe his brother and find out what's really troubling his brother. After waiting for an entire hour, several new figures of demi-humans started coming out of the fog. An elderly man who was in the middle especially attracted their attention. Beautifully flowing blonde hair along with his blue eyes that shows great knowledge. He also has a long and pointed ear, obviously a wise and old elf. So you're the human. What's your name? He asked. My name's Rimuru Nagumo. He's Hajime Nagumo, and her name's Yu. It's a pleasure to meet you, Rimuru said with a bow. The pleasure's all mine. Thanks for sparing them even after we attacked first. Now then, I am Alfreric Hypist, an elder of Fia Belgain. I've heard of your request, but before that, I'd like to ask, where did you hear the name, Liberators?